Okay there, singing world. This video will offer Italian pronunciation help for the aria Piangerò la sorte mia from Julius Caesar by Handel. We will explore the tips and tricks to help you sing your aria without accent and also discuss the proper open and closed vowels and other non-phonetic things such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. Before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. You'll see the entire text written out so you can follow along with all those non-phonetic things, the open vowels, the phrasal doubling, and the assimilation. Also, there are links to my various websites, my Facebook fan page, and a link to the pronunciation dictionary on the RAI site. So you may follow that link below, or you may type into a search engine RAIDOP or RAI Dizionario, and this site will come up. At this site, you can type in any word, and there will be a playback button showing you the proper pronunciation, and you can hear it with a native Italian speaker. It also shows you the open and closed E's and O's, and what I love about it the most, it acknowledges the existence of non-phonetic Italian such as phrasal doubling and assimilation. So you can see entire lines of text with the playback button read back by a native Italian speaker. So you can see all of that in action. I love it. I strongly suggest you check it out. So what we'll do first is I'll read the entire text, and you'll see all the doublings and the assimilation in action, and then we'll examine it word by word and go through it so that every word will go through all of the tips and tricks to really sound Italian, and also examine a lot of the mistakes I hear in audition and in performance. Okay, so here's the whole text starting with the recitative. Eppur così in un giorno pɛrdo, fasti e grandezze, fato io, Cesare, il mio bel nume è forse estinto, Cornɛlia e sSɛsto inɛrmi son, ne ssanno darmi soccorso, o ddio, non resta alcuna spɛme al viver mio. Piangerò la sorte mia, sì crudele e tanto ria, finché vita in petto avrò, ma poi morta d'ogni intorno, il tiranno e notte e giorno, fatta spettro agiterò. Okay, so now that we've done through the whole text, let's examine it word by word. So let's look at the first word, a, which is a closed E, right? So E's are either open or closed, and if you notice through the aria, the closed E, a, which is like the A in hey, is written out just with a normal E. An open E is written out, that rhymes with a and head, is with the rounded edges E, right? The Greek E. So those are the IPA symbols. Okay, so the first word for and is closed. So there's another word that's just a single E, and that's is in Italian, and that's a, open, right? So you know the difference because it has an accent. This one doesn't have the accent. Okay, so the other thing about the word and is that it's a strong monosyllable. So when I was talking about phrasal doubling before, this causes the next word, if it starts with a consonant, to double. So if you notice it written out, the P has a double P. So you would say ppur in speech. You wouldn't say ppur, you'd say ppur. Okay, so there's a double P. So how do we get to that double P? How do we execute that double P? Do we do two P's? No, we just do one P, right? And what makes the double P is the stop in phonation, the stop in the sound, right? The stop in the vowel, actually, right? So I do a pur if I did it in slow motion. So you see there's a stop. I go up to the P, I don't say it, then I say it. That makes the double P. A pur. Right? So the space is up to me and how expressive I want to be. And in fact, the expressiveness of the P is the space. not the force of the consonant, right? The other thing I don't do is I don't do two P's. I don't do ppur, right? Where I chop the vowel before. Ppur. So it always goes ahead, right? It always looks forward, right? So let's go through it again step by step with every single thing, right? So you say a long A, stop phonation, A, go up to the P without saying it, A, pur, and then you say the P. Okay, so now the next thing let's talk about is the P itself. So all consonants come in pairs, right? So a P in English is different than a P in Italian. The thing that they have that are the same is that they're both unvoiced. The voiced pair consonant with P is B, right? So the difference P or pa or pur, right, and bur. So bur, I use vocal cords. Pur, my vocal cords are not engaged on the P, right? And if I do an English one, they're even more not engaged. Pur, right? Like that. That's the way we do it in English, right? You don't do that in Italian. So it's best for you for singing to find the voiced paired consonant when you're singing Italian ones, right? So if you think bur, pur, and you see I take the unvoiced P right at the point where it becomes unvoiced, and we recognize it as P, and that's Italian P for singing, right? Pur, bur, pur. Okay? So when you're doing a bur, right, you can do that, and then a pur. So that's how we get rid of any English or American accent on the P, right? I could do it the wrong way too. A pur with lots of air, right? So we don't want that. Okay, so U is always U, and the R rolls at the end because it touches a consonant. So let's go over the more basics, right? The R's are rolled if they touch a consonant, and it doesn't matter which side of the R it is, it rolls, okay? Also, if it's ending and then you don't do anything afterwards, if it's the final thing you say, it rolls. Now, if it's the final thing you say and the next word starts with a vowel, it's going to flip. And R's that are surrounded by vowels, all R's that are surrounded by vowels, are flipped. Okay, so we'll come up with one somewhere along the line. Right now, everything in this first line, like giorno, the R rolls because it touches an N. Right. Next line, pɛrdo, it rolls because it touches a D. Ggrandezze, it rolls because it's preceded by a consonant. Okay, so you see all of those. Hai fatto Rio. Rio is going to be flipped because it's surrounded by vowels, right? So let's go on. The next word, così, that the O is closed. And if you notice, I've written out O two different ways. There's the phonetic O, which is the closed O, and the non-phonetic O, which is open O. So closed O is like oats in English, right? Just like you say the word, like you say O. And then open O is like aw, A-W, or saw, right? Isn't it? I saw, okay? Now the difference, again, with vowels in Italian versus vowels in English is vowels in English harmonize. They're not pure. And Italian vowels do not harmonize. They're pure, right? So how do we do a pure vowel versus a non-pure vowel, right? So if I say in English, I say hey, I slowly end up on an E vowel, right? Italians don't. They just stay. Right? If I do head, I slowly go to an I vowel in English, right? And my jaw moves very much. Head, right? In Italian just stays, right? Oats, we go to an I at the end of the oats, and we move, right? And O in Italian again is pure, right? So how do you make a pure vowel? Just by staying and not chewing your jaw, right? Okay, so the next thing is in un giorno. So we have two different N's here, and N will double if it goes up to a consonant, right? And N actually does whatever the next consonant does, right? So notice the difference. We have I-N-U surrounded by vowels. In un giorno. Notice the second N, right? Un. So my tongue holds my tip while I phonate on the N, right? So there's not two of the same N's, right? The first one, if I did it, it would sound really funny. In un giorno. See, too much, right? In un giorno. So you hear the difference? The first N is a single N. Second N is a double N. Difference between double N and single N. Double N, you hold it in phonation. Un. Inun. You see, the N doesn't hold. So, next, giorno, closed O, right? So if you think O, giorno. So again, in English, we harmonize, and especially when we have R's. So I hear a lot of singers singing jor, right? Because that's what we say. We say door. And the R actually reigns over the O vowel and really makes it open, right? In Italian, you can have a closed O before an R. So to practice, you go giorno, giorno, right? And I'm exaggerating the closedness of the O right now, right? But it's not jor, it's giorno. Closed O, closed O. Notice that the I after the G is just to soften the G, right? It's a disappearing semivowel. Otherwise, it would be gorno, right? It would be a closed O, but a hard G without the I. Does that make sense? So the I is there to soften. Going on, pɛrdo. So here's our first open E, right? Now, what do we do with open E if we're Americans, right? We tend to make it rhyme with chair. Like, think about if you said chairdo, pɛrdo, right? We do that when we have an R. It's pɛrdo. This is what I call a purity test. If I have my clients do this, their Italian improves overnight because you just think right? The vowel. It does not harmonize. Do. Or even o. Pɛrdo. Now you feel the vowel as a column of vibration in your body, right? So it doesn't compromise. Okay? Now notice that the O that's in the unstressed position is closed. And there's a reason for that. Every word in Italian has one stressed syllable or one stressed vowel, right? In this word, it's the first syllable. Anything that falls on the unstressed or unaccented syllable is a closed vowel. So all E's and O's are closed when they land on the unstressed. So that's very good news because we don't have to look up any of those. Now the bad news is on the stressed vowels, we have to look them up because there's no rule and they all have to be memorized. So if you've noticed, you've already had two stressed vowels, giorno, and one was closed, and pɛrdo, and one was open, right? So they do not follow any particular rhyme or reason. They have to be memorized. Okay, going on. Fasti. Okay, so the only danger in this word is the S. So A is always A, I is always E, right? Fasti. When I speak, here's the difference between spoken Italian and lyric Italian. When I speak, I can say fasti, and I can hiss the S a little bit. When I sing, and I have two notes for this word, the first note has to all be fa, and the second note has to be sti, right? So practice first just separating them with a dot, right? Fa, sti. Fasti is how you sing it, right? You can't sing fasti in slow motion, okay? So again, the first syllable is all ah, second syllable is all sti. Here's our word a again, and notice again it's up to its usual tricks of making the G double. So you would say ggrandezze. See? So double G is like a DG. Ggrandezze. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a hard G, so it's not. I was thinking of a soft G, right? Like verdeggia, see, double G, right? Double G would be a DG. This one's a hard double G, so it's grandezze. So the same thing. I go up to the G without saying it, and then I say it. Grandezze. Okay, so now anything that's etze in Italian, here's a formula that we can memorize. They're all closed. Bellezza, anything like that, it's closed E, it's A. So grandezze is a closed E. Now ZZ can either be pronounced as the Z in pizza or the ZZ in mezzo. Notice one is a DZ and one is a TZ. And it's actually with single Z too. Especially with single Z in modern Italian, there has been a lot of DZ changing over, which is not correct. So a lot of modern Italian has DZ for like zio. It's really zio with TZ, but a lot of Italians say zio. These have to be also memorized case by case. And the clue is if the word had a D in Latin. So mezzo had a D in Latin, so that's why it's DZ. Olezzo. But this one's grandezze, right? Like the ZZ in pizza. Okay, so grandezze. Grandezze. Now, the stress is closed. The unstressed we know is closed. Okay, going on. I. Right, so H is not pronounced in Italian ever, right? It's there sometimes to make things hard. It's always silent in Italian. So I. You say every vowel you see in Italian. That's even if it's a semi-vowel, you say it. It goes by so fast the audience doesn't hear it. So this is you have to have an A and an E. A, E, I. Going on. Fato, single T. Let's talk about the difference. Single T, double T. Fato. I just need to stop phonation to make two T's. Fato. Even if I do it fast, it's still double T, you see. Fato. So, how do you get rid of double T? You don't allow that stop at all. You have to make your vowels long, right? So the other way to practice, if you're still having problems and you can't get rid of that double T, practice ow. Generous vowels, right? Ow. Right? So now, when you put the T in, it should feel exactly the same. Fato. The T is not weak. I'm still going to. It's just I don't go fat. To. I don't stop before it. Rio. So it's a flipped R, right? And the accent is on the E, right? In this case, it doesn't mean river, as in Spanish. It's wicked. Rio. Okay. Now, the name Cesare can be said Cesare or Cesare, however you like, right? Cesare is the first pronunciation. Cesare, either one. Okay, so the stress can be closed or open, and we know that the unstressed E is closed. Il, mio. Possessive pronouns have an accent on the first vowel, right? Tuo, tua, mio. And then nominative case also like io, right? I. You'll often see one note and you have to sing two notes to do it. Bel is bello, okay? Bello is open E. Bel, open E. Nume, single M, right? So I often hear double M in this word. So how do we make double M versus single M? It's like L's and N's, the same thing. If you hold the N in phonation with your lips while your vocal cords are engaged, it's double M. Nume. See? Double M. Nume. Double M, right? Nume. I don't I don't let my lips vibrate for an instant. They just say the M and they get out. Nume. And again, you can practice ue, right? Lots of vowel. Going on. Here's our word for is, and it's a strong monosyllable, causes a double F. Fforse, right? So the O is stressed in the word forse, and it's closed. The R rolls, the E is closed. Estinto. So now you have the S danger in this word, right? When you speak, you can say estinto, but when you sing, you have to say estinto. All of the first note is on A, right? The N goes into the T and it doubles. Notice that. Estinto. I stayed on the N for a second to show you where it goes. So with the tip of the tongue, and you phonate on it, right? And that's what N does when it's not singular in this. Okay, going on. Look at the name Cornɛlia. The accent is on the E vowel, right on the A. So in the A is open and the O is closed. And again, we have that danger of O before an R that will harmonize as it does in English and rhyme with door, right? So it's Cornɛlia. And the IA is a semivowel, right? Sometimes you have words that are nouns that have the accent on the E, bramosia, and that's another non-phonetic thing. You have to memorize the word, whether it's ia or lia in this case, right? Cornɛlia. So the I is just a semivowel, like a Y, right? Now, the Y semivowel, let's talk about that. When we think Y, we even see that it's an IPA symbol, right? When we see that, we think of the English position, and it's not. It's so much lower. Think about it, right? If I say yet, or yak, or yes, it's all down here. An Italian would say yes from the E position. So if I think yes, right? So Cornɛlia, E, it's up there. You don't actually stay on an E longer enough for it to be a real vowel. It's a semivowel. But if you practice that, you're going to keep your position. Okay? These are all little picky things, but these details are all these things that make you shine, right? And you have to be very, very diligent in these things. So here we have our word for and again, A, and it doubles the S. SSɛsto. Now be careful with S because too much S in the theater is ugly, right? So Cornɛlia sSɛsto. You see, you don't want Cornɛlia sSɛsto. You don't want both of those S's. Just the first one, right? Cornɛlia sSɛsto. So you see the difference? Okay. Inɛrmi. Again, doesn't rhyme with chair. It's not inɛrmi, right? Inɛrmi. The R rolls because it touches the M. Sono, they are, or I am. In this case, it's they are, right? Son, closed O. Ne is the word that doubles. Ne ssanno. And here we have a strong double N. And remember, just to make double N, we hold the N while we phonate, right? Ne ssanno. And I've exaggerated it. Darmi. Here's another R that rolls, touching an M. Soccorso. So how do we do double K? It's just like double T. It's just like double G. Any hard consonant, right? So we don't say soccorso. We don't chop that first vowel short. We have a long O. We go up to the K. We don't say the K. And then we say it, right? So go up to the K. Corso. Soccorso. We have a double D. Oh, ddio. Okay? So if we're really excited, we hold the space longer. Oh, ddio. Right? Oh, ddio. I'm mildly excited. Oh, ddio. But the O gets long before the double D. Okay, and again, this is ddio, right? Two strong vowels, right? Okay, going on, non resta. So N-O-N-R, the R is going to roll. Resta, open E. And we have our S problem. We've already done it. Alcuna. This is a very forward-going word, right? The L, notice the L doubles. Alcuna, and the N does not, right? The mistake I hear is alcuna, double N. Alcuna. Spɛme. Okay, so you'll see in librettos either you'll either see the spell with an M or an N. It's the same word. You'll hear usually spɛme in some Handel librettos, right? Spɛme, open E, single M. Al, viver. So all the 8A infinitives are closed E. Viver, not viver. Viver mio. Okay, going on. Piangerò, future tense, I will cry, I will weep, right? Ends with a strong O on accent on the last syllable, right? And there's an O accent. Most O's that are accented at the end of a word in Italian are open. So that's another formula you can memorize, right? So sarò, può. A lot of words that have a strong stress on the O at the end are usually open. Piangerò. Okay? So notice that it's not Piangerò. It's A, E, O. If you practice just the vowels, A, E, O. Piangerò. Notice that the N goes into the G. Piangerò. Right? So you're going to say J sort of towards the front of your mouth. The N sings into it. Also, a word that ends on a strong stress doubles the next consonant. Alright, so you would say Piangerò la sorte mia. Just a slight double L, right? Sorte, open O, rolled R, closed E. Mia we've had. The word si is a strong monosyllable. So we'd say ccrudɛle. Ccrudɛle. See, double K sound. We've already gone over how to do it. Open E and a single L. So when we have an open vowel and a single consonant, we love to double the next consonant, right? So easy to say crudelli. A lot of singers I hear doing that. Crudelli, right? Or you avoid the open vowel, so you say soccorso. So it's easier to not double if you close it. But it's correct to say it open there, right? Ccrudɛle. E tanto, double T. Or e tanto, right? E tanto. Notice the singing N into the T. Ria, right? Wicked, again. Finché. Now, accented E at the end of words could either be open or closed. So that's elusive a little bit, right? So we open O, most of them are open. Accented E, when you have the accent on the last syllable, you have to memorize. Finché is closed. But you have words like pied, foot, right? So open, right? So finché vita, double V, just a little bit, right? You don't stop phonation for double V's or double B's for that matter, right? Finché vita, no. Finché vita, right? Finché vita, no. Finché vita, just a touch. Now here we have our first N assimilation. Okay, so we have IN, which is usually in, right? But we're going to say impetto. So what happened to my N? Watch again. Impetto. So what happened? It went on the lips and sort of assimilated into an M before the P, right? Watch again. Impetto. So what happens? To say pe, my lips come together. The N stays on the outside of my mouth, goes on my lips. Impetto. Now that's exaggerated what I just did. You're not going to hold that M in phonation like that. because that would be exaggerated, right? But just to show you in slow motion, I am not doing this. I'm not putting the N in my mouth, inɛrmi, because that would result in a shadow vowel if I try to sing legato, right? Inɛrmi, there's no way, right? So it stays out, impetto, right? So I could do it wrong, doing this, and holding it, right? So it just has to go by so fast, it's not even noticed, and your legato stays the same. Your voice stays on one track. Impetto. Avrò. Here we have another accented last syllable with an open O. Avrò. Rolled R. Ma is a strong monosyllable, so it doubles the P of poi. And it does not rhyme with boy. It's not poi. It's poi. O-I. Ma poi. So O-I. Notice how when we do this, we don't go oi. We go o-I. Oi. The E is a semivowel, but there's no glissando between those two vowels. It's all O, and then it's all E. Morta. Okay, so open O. Morta. Rolled R. All the O's coming up are closed. D'ogni So d'ogni And I've underlined the O's that we tend to open, so that's what the underlining means, right? Those are the ones we tend to miss, right? So d'ogni Il tiranno. Note the double N and closed O. Here's A again, and the O of notte is open O, and there's a double T, right? A notte. And this next A is going to elide, right? So you're not going to say a notte e giorno. You're going to say a notte giorno. But we know that the A is in there because of the double G. And here's the double G I was talking about. This is a soft double G. There's a hard double G, ggrandezze earlier, and now this is a soft double G, giorno. So I stop on a DG, right? Notice I go up to a D and I don't say a D, and then I say a G from that D position. Giorno. We've already had the word giorno before. Fatta. We know how to do double T. Spettro. Agiterò. So notice we usually will open the E before the R and it's closed because the accent is on the last syllable and all unstressed. E's and O's are closed. Agiterò. Agiterò. What is the other mistake we can make? We could double the T or the G. This is a very dangerous word. Agiterò, right? Agiterò. So we have to double those vowels going up into that. Agiterò. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. As always, please don't forget to like the video. Please subscribe. Please share. And as always, don't forget to see your coach. And we will see you on stage at the opera.